Milk collections from a Cornish farm, which supplies milk to big brands including Cathedral City, have been suspended following abuse allegations.
The video first emerged yesterday evening, and what we do know is that it was made by animal rights activists. They say they went undercover to 2 Cornish farms.
What did you find at these 2 Cornish farms?
Secret camera footage from both 2022 and 2025. We found workers hitting, kicking, punching animals, callous disregard for animals' welfare, forcing downer cows up through, just forceful means, kicking, using sharp goads to prod them up, improper use of a forklift to drag cows around the farm, violating cows with objects in a awful manner. You can't describe the manner that they were doing this in because it would just get you censored everywhere. So what was particularly awful about this is that a lot of this was being overseen by the director of the farm, figures that kind of have a lot of responsibility at the farm, which creates a culture of abuse at the farm. Just awful scenes of callous treatment of sentient beings. That's what we found.
I'm outside Davidstow Creamery. Well, Saputo, who own it, say that we care deeply about the way the milk we source is produced and do not condone any act of animal cruelty.
They suspended the supply of milk from one of the farms. How do you feel that that's their response, that they've suspended milk supply from one of them?
Suspended is not completely stopped, and I think that if you do have zero tolerance for animal welfare violations or cruelty, they should completely disown those locations, and it doesn't matter if it was from 2022 or 2019. I think that should be like an instant, we don't work with you anymore.
The 2 farms shown in the video footage both supply milk here, and it produces big brands like
Cathedral City cheese, Clover, big massive brands that people trust and buy, and Cathedral City have this happy cow cartoon caricature that they use. Okay, now this, again, should not be allowed. Whatever Saputo are doing right now is just to cover their image and their brand, because if they really cared about animal cruelty, they'd be leaving the secret cameras themselves and employing private investigators to go and check randomly at these places to see if they're actually doing what they say they're doing. I can guarantee you, because we only go in random times, in random years, we don't have many resources. We're very underfunded. I can guarantee it's happening systemically and across the board in a much worse way, because and the people at that farm know exactly how bad it is, because they're the ones who see it every day, and we only see it for a moment in time.
Now, Cornwall Council has also seen this video. They say that people have been to both of the 2 farms and that their inquiries are ongoing into this matter.
What they did, in fact, is they just they come through and do a walkthrough afterwards and say, oh, well, we didn't see anything while we were there. Well, that's because we leave hidden cameras when they think no one is watching. So if you walk through when they know you're there, of course they're not going to be hitting cows and doing all these horrible things.
Do you think there needs to be more legislation or more for the animals who are on dairy farms?
Well, I think number one thing, they should at least be enforcing the legislation that exists. The legislation that exists is not worth the paper it's written on. You're not supposed to cause unnecessary suffering to a protected animal, and obviously dairy cows, they can be sent to a slaughterhouse, so they're not really that protected, but you're not allowed to do certain things. But when you look across the board, they are doing those things. And the thing is, the enforcement is pathetic. We kind of expect at this point that they won't do anything about it. But they will just say, we care about animal welfare very seriously, and they will just use the cookie cutter response. What I believe is that at this number of animals, that the industry cannot be reformed. It cannot be reformed, not at this number. When you're doing this to animals at this scale to meet a demand, it's always going to involve abuse and cruelty, and I don't think it's possible for them to adhere to the animal welfare laws in this country whilst delivering this amount of meat, eggs and milk to the population. I just don't think it's possible.
What impact do you want these videos to have? I suppose one for the farms in Cornwall, but also on a wider scale, what change do you want to see happen in this industry?
The number one thing that we want to get out of this is to deliver the transparency to the public that they deserve. These advertisements should be illegal. It should be illegal to lie to the consumer. Now, I have my own position on what people should consume and what they should support with their money, right? But no matter where you land on this topic, the number one thing is you deserve to know what's happening, not some filtered, curated version of a marketing advertisement. And that's what we want, transparency, truth.
You must see this abuse, sadly, a lot of the time doing what you do. How do you feel when you're seeing that this is still happening?
Well, I mean, I would like to say that I was surprised, but I'm actually not. It wears on you. It just wears on you the way that they can kind of gaslight the unaware consumer about this, treat us almost like we're doing something wrong for exposing it. All the while, they're abusing the animals that they say they care for. It's really, it's frustrating and it's exhausting.
Well, it's shocking, isn't it? As you say, can't imagine what you see.
You know, it's so far removed from what people are told, and that's the problem. Like, people get this idea about what it's like, and it's not from their own mind. It's put into their mind it's misinformation more than it's not being informed. It's like they're being informed something different. And there's, you know, the NFU, National Farmers Union, and all of these big lobby groups. They get money from all the farmers to do their advertising and to do their bidding for them. But really, like, they're doing some horrible things and covering it up. There's a lot of scumbags involved with this, and they don't care about animals. They should just say, we don't care about them, the units of production, and just be honest about it. And, you know, that would be at least honesty. Don't pretend you're an animal sanctuary when you're doing this to animals. Like, we don't do this to care about cows. We do this because we're exploiting them and killing them for money. And you know what? The laws can't be adhered to. There's too many cows. You want cheese? This is how it has to come about. And, you know, that's basically the truth of the matter, but they won't give the public the truth. I think the public do care, and that's what they're trying to manage with their marketing. People do actually, you know, like when you saw this, oh my God, that's awful. That's how most people would be, and they know that, so that's why they have to lie.
I think that's everything I wanted to ask you, but is there anything you want to add or that I've not touched on?
I'd like the general public to consider the animals who are being exploited and abused in order to deliver what is on the shelf, and not to trust those who are trying to make money off these animals, and instead, you know, listen to your interest. If you feel like something is right, that couldn't be possibly like this fairy tale that they deliver to you through the television or through the advertising in the supermarkets, then just trust your gut instinct, and, you know, don't listen to those who have a vested interest in exploiting animals, and instead think about this through the eyes of those poor animals who have no voice, and, you know, make choices accordingly. But number one, push for accountability. Yeah, so that was interesting, wasn't it? I think the media have been quite good, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think it's ubiquitously agreed upon across the board that this is unacceptable. The industry are just so untrustworthy, and they're using all these, like, if Mark didn't do nothing wrong, then just speak up for yourself, man. Speak up. At least if you did do something wrong, apologise. I don't deserve to work with animals. I'm going to take some time away. I'm going to destroy my dairy farm. You know, I think this is awful. I can't live with myself. I've become a monster. You know, have a turnaround. And you are tormenting, abusing, you know, doing horrible shit to beings who can't even take themselves to the police station to report you. You know, they can't do anything. You murder them. They can't speak for themselves. They're just the most vulnerable, gentle, timid beings who have no way to get their story out there other than a few, like, and I'm talking, it's a few investigators in this country. If they get one more cent from selling milk, then that's it. The writing's on the wall about the entire industry. With the writing's on the wall about the NFU defending that instead of condemning it. Where's the statement of condemnation from the National Farmers Union? Where's the statement of condemnation from Dairy UK? We condemn these acts.